Hi, I'm Lerma Manyalak. I'm here to discuss the victim typology of Benjamin Mendelssohn. It was not until 1660 that the word victim was first used in the sense of a person who is hurt, tortured, or killed by another. A victim of a crime did not exist until 17th century. Why were victims were ignored for so long? A victim is an integral part of the system. In fact, some say, without victims, there will be no need for criminal justice system. Victims are the people or communities that suffer physical, emotional, or financial harm because of a crime. Over the years, different typologies of victims have been created to demonstrate the unique role or position of victims in relation to crime. Theories have developed victim typologies that are concerned primarily with the situational and personal characteristics of victims and also the relationship of victims and offenders. One of these typology is the Mendelssohn's typology of crime victims. Benjamin Mendelssohn coined the term victimology and was one of the first criminologists to create victim typology. Some observers credit Benjamin Mendelssohn, a practicing attorney, as the father of victimology. Mendelssohn, like von Hettich, was intrigued by the dynamics that take place between the victims and offenders. As he conducted interviews with the victims and witnesses, he then realized that victims and offenders often knew each other and had some kind of existing relationship, which he then created a classification of victims based on their culpability or the degree of the victim's blame. His classification entailed the following: the innocent victim, someone who did not contribute to the victimization and is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like for example, I'm trying to encash a check in the bank when suddenly robbers went inside the bank and then start robbing the bank and also the people who are inside the bank. So in there, I'm a victim who is in the wrong place at the wrong time. So the next one that we have is the victim with minor guilt. The victim with minor guilt does not actively participate in their victimization, however, they contribute to it in some minor degrees. Like for example, I'm planning to go to the market or the public market, and then I'm wearing gold accessories such as the gold earrings, gold necklace, or gold bracelet, and the likes. So, as we all know, public markets with a lot of peoples, these are prone from a crime such as the stealing, snatching, something like that. So, wearing all those stuff with me is realistically, I'm putting myself more, I'm giving myself more a tendency from being victimized. So, the next one that we have is the guilty victim, guilty offender. In here, victim and offender may have engaged in criminal activity together. Like for example, I am a sex worker and my client did not pay me enough. Selling sex is illegal and me as a victim is guilty and my client is as an offender is guilty. The next one that we have is the guilty offender, guiltier victim. In here, the victim may have been the primary attacker, however, the offender won the fight. So, like for example, I slapped someone's face just for fun. However, he then revenged and punched me instead on my face, which puts me asleep straight away, realistically. So, the guy that I realistically slapped on won the fight. However, me as the primary attacker is more guiltier Okay? I'm the victim and I'm more guiltier because I did the attack first. The next one that we have is the guilty victim. In here, victim instigated a conflict but is killed in self-defense. So, like for example, I have a husband who is abusive to me, and then one night he came home and then suddenly pointing a gun on me, and then he's trying to kill me. So in my self-defense, I tried to quarrel over the gun, and then realistically ended up killing him to save my life. So I killed my husband in self-defense. The last one that we have is the imaginary victim. In here, someone is pretending to be a victim when they're not. So, like for example, I pretend to be a victim even though I am not, and then I fabricated the victimization even though realistically nothing such thing happened. Once again, Mendelssohn's typology of crime victims are innocent victim, the victim with minor guilt, the guilty victim, guilty offender, the guilty offender, guiltier victim, the guilty victim, and the last one is the imaginary victim. Thank you for watching and listening.